Christmas is, I'm just wondering, do we still need the Santa Claus thing? I mean, in today's era, do you guys still tell your kids to go sit on this old guy's lap with a beard that smells? I mean, shouldn't he be on a wanted poster by now? I mean, really, because, I mean, we teach our kids not to do that, but yet at Christmas time we say, look, go sit on that old man's lap. He's going to give you candy. And not only that, but later on in the month, he's going to sneak in your house. Because he's got gifts for you. And that's okay. You know, and we wonder, I kind of wonder, we look back at our history of our children raising and we wonder, what happened? I mean, did we hate kids back then? Look at some of our nursery rhymes, our bedtime stories, right? Like, lay me down, if I die before I wake, Lord, make my soul? I mean, and what about the one where, in the treetop, the wind will blow and the cradle will fall, down will come baby cradle and all? Who's putting a kid in a tree? And at the top, on a windy day? What the hell?
I just turned 25. Thanks. I don't know why that's cool. But it's weird. I thought I would be more adult by now. I also thought I would be done shitting my pants by now. But that still happens, turns out. It was about 3 days ago. I was out with some friends. I wasn't like drunk or anything. It was a horrible combination of too much Chinese food and trying to impress my friends.
Me too.
You too. Dang, man, that's awesome. Shit brothers. That's who you So yeah, it's an embarrassing situation. I went to the bathroom. I went to I cleaned it up, and then I'm going commando. And the zipper is now my least favorite invention. Because you move wrong and it's like rubbing a cactus on your genitals. It gets real bad real quick. I thought I'd be more adult. I think the problem is that I don't have enough adult things. I don't have like a home or a wife or belongings or ambitions. So it is tough out there. I live with a family right now. I rent a room at a house with a family, and they have 2 little girls, and they're 3 and 5-year-olds. And I tell you what, living with a family with kids is the best birth control out there. It is like watching a spaceship full of your future crash in slow motion around you. If I had kids, I would not be here. I would be home wiping crayon off the walls with my tears. It's not that bad. They're great. I love the family. I love the kids. They're adorable. They're 3 and 5, and the only problem is that their parents have not taught them that vagina is not a socially acceptable word. I found this out. We were playing on a hot day. We were down in the sandbox, and we're coming back out, and the 3-year-old comes up and she grabs my hand and she looks up at me with just these adorable little eyes, and she goes, "Uncle Brian." She calls me Uncle. She goes, "Uncle Brian, I have some sand in my vagina. Do you have sand in your vagina?" And I walked away as fast as I possibly could. For a lot of reasons, okay? There's a lot of reasons I walked away. The first is that the whole uncle thing seems real weird after that statement. Second, I don't know how to help you. I don't have like a hose or an anatomy book to help you out. And the worst thing is my first thought was, well, I do have a little sand in my butt crack. And that's kind of similar. It's not similar. It's not even close. Yeah, another thing about being 25, I thought I would look older, but I don't. I've always looked a little younger than I actually am, and when I was growing up, I was really small. I was kind of a small kid. But I had big friends. So my freshman year of high school, I had this friend named John, and he's about 6'6", 300 pounds. And he played Division I football as a lineman, which really isn't that impressive. When you're trying out for linemen, they don't really clock your speed. They really look at your gravitational pull at that point. And trying to see how many defensemen we can get in your orbit, the same stats as a professional eater. But John had this thing where he would, if we crossed each other in the hallway, occasionally he would pick me up and he would put me on top of the Coke machine. The joke was on him. I liked it. One, because I like being up high, and two, I hit puberty way after all the high school girls. So I walked around all day at eye level with just a sea of high school boobs. And I finally got that bird's eye view I was looking for. This is a horrible boob joke, sorry. But, when, that was actually how I got my first girlfriend in 7th grade. I was staring at her, and to me she was the hottest girl in 7th grade. But I never really saw her face. She was just the first girl whose packages had arrived on time, and I was the chief inspector. And my buddy came up to me and he catches me staring, and he was like, "Do you like her?" And I was like, "Huh?" And he was like, "Do you like her?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you want to date her?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And so he went over and talked to her, and he came back and he was like, "You guys are dating." And I was like, "That's awesome." That's just how it worked in 7th grade. And so I went home and I was super pumped. I was like, "Yes, I got a girlfriend." And my mom was like, "Why are you so happy?" And I was like, "Mom, yeah, I got a girlfriend." And she was like, "Well, what do you like about her?" And it couldn't be like, "Well, she's got nice tits," because, we were Christians. If we'd been atheists, I could have just been like, "Well, she looks fertile." And Dad were like, "Well, present your seed." I don't know how atheists talk, but the next day I worked up the courage to talk to her, and she tried to hold my hand, and I pulled it away immediately because I was wearing basketball shorts, and I knew I was going to get a boner. A stiff wind will give a 7th grade boy a boner. Stay away from them. It takes nothing. She broke up with me 2 weeks later over AOL Instant Messenger. If you remember that beautiful piece of technology, it allowed you to have a conversation at the speed of dial-up internet while also shutting down your parents' phone system. It was like setting off an electromagnetic bomb in your basement. But I started crying, and my mom came down, and it must have been a really confusing scene because I'm crying, and the only thing on the computer screen is that old pinball game, and then the AOL Instant Messenger login page, which just had my username. And my username at the time was BJAwesome12. Because my name's Brian Jackson, which makes my initials BJ, and I did not know what that meant. But I remember the day everyone else found out. Because everyone started calling me BJ, and they were making fun of me, and you know how when people are making fun of you but you don't get the jokes, you're just like, "Ha ha ha, yeah, that's right, I'm a BJ, I did it, nice." But finally I got fed up with that, and I asked my friend, I was like, "All right, dude, what is this BJ stuff?" And he was like, "BJ stands for blowjob." And I did not know what that meant. And so I was a pretty logical kid, so I tried to figure it out. So I was like, "All right, BJ, blowjob. This must be somebody who's bad at their employment." And so I tried to argue my way out of it, right? I was like, "Guys, no, I'm not a blowjob. I get good grades. I come from a good family, pretty hard worker. If anything, I'm gonna be a great job. Then I'll be a boss. I'll be handing out jobs. You can get a job. You." And that did not help my situation. And so they kept making fun of me. Eventually, I went back to my friend. I was like, "All right, what is a blowjob?" And he was like, "It's when you put your in her And I was like, "Huh?" I don't know what. It blew my mind that was even a thing. I was like, guys, that's. I started trying to argue again. I was like, "Guys, that's not me. That's a verb. I'm a person. That's a problem." Saying I don't even like hot dogs that much. Okay, popsicles, sure, but that hardly seems related. Yeah, that's all I got. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
I got on. No, thought against it. I can do this. That's good. Those of you who know me will hear it in my voice. I've been a little bit sick lately. It's been making me think about bacteria. You know, bacteria, all bacteria needs to thrive and multiply is a warm, wet environment. So now I'm paranoid that my coffee pot has chlamydia. It won't stop dripping. Plus I've been fucking it. Guys, we use protection. Double up on coffee filters. That's gross. Does anyone here know how to interpret dreams? Anyone know how to interpret dreams? I had a dream last night that Godzilla destroyed Grand Rapids, and when I woke up, I had a huge boner. Anybody? No? No? Speaking of my penis has supernatural powers. It's a medium. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was in Speedway the other day, and instead of scanning my Speedy Rewards card, the lady scanned my library card. Now I have to bring this Snickers back in 2 weeks. I hope I get to finish this one. My wife ruined the last one for me. She says, Jimmy, don't eat that Snickers. You're not yourself when you're hungry. And we all hate the real you. That's fucked up, guys. Jeez. I got this list of idioms that I've been trying to prove. I'm just going to talk louder in case anyone's on their cell phone. You know, they say a washed pot never boils. But if you throw it in the microwave, it sparks and shit. That's pretty cool. They say slow and steady wins the race. Unless, of course, you know, it's actually a race. Then, you know, fast. That's a good one. They say pimpin' ain't easy. That's why I haven't started yet. I mean, you want a hobby that's easy to get into. I mean, okay, yeah, it's wintertime right now. It's not a good wintertime, but this is more of a summer one. When you were a kid, like around the pool and when you were at the beach, did your mom ever tell you that when you eat, you're supposed to wait 30 minutes before you have butt sex? Is that just my mom? Alright. They say people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. That one really weirds me out. That's very general advice for someone with very specific living conditions. It should be people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones at home. Anywhere else is fine. Your friend's house, and basically anyone who wasn't an idiot and decided to live inside of a glass house. It should be people who live in glass houses should probably shower at night. That's what that one should probably be. They say the dishes don't do themselves, but if you get blackout drunk first, they kind of do. It's like, who did the dishes? And who peed in the stove? Jimmy. They say once you go black, you never go back. But everything tastes good on a cracker. Y'all have enough white guilt that you're here and not watching the Oscars. You can laugh at that. Watch how seamlessly I transfer into my last jokes. You ever seen a dick tattoo? I'm so sorry for looking right at you when I said that. Every time I ask that question, I'm usually the only person in the room that has an internet connection and a healthy curiosity about what dicks with pictures on them look like. My question about the dick tattoo is this. How bad does your job suck as a tattoo artist when you think you're gonna show up and you're gonna tattoo tits and ass all day, and all of a sudden you gotta scribble the word scrumptious on some dude's junk? Why does he keep holding it? Alright, seriously, if I did get a dick tattoo, I think I'd get a picture of a dick. Not another dick, my dick. Probably facing the other way. Just to add another layer to my dick pics. You can tell how proud I am of that. That's a dick pic of a dick pic dick. That's a scandal that would make the papers. They'd have to put out a PSA to everyone saying, hey, don't click that dick pic of the dick pic dick that this dick is sent to everybody. But if they put it in the papers, they couldn't put any illustrations in there, so they'd probably have to say, not pictured as the dick pic of the dick pic dick that this dick is sent it to people. This is getting kind of silly. It's reminded me of that Anthony Weiner bit. You remember Anthony Weiner? He sent a dick pic over Twit. He twitted a dick pic that didn't have dick. Problem with that one? He sent it to some nitwit chick. What kind of nitwit nitpicks a dick pic that doesn't have dick? Problem is, this nitwit chick that twits wants a dick pic with dick. Doesn't get a dick pic with dick, but the dick pic gets 1 billion clicks. Let me lay out a math problem for you. An high school style, a word problem. If Nick and Rich switch dick pics, how many clicks would a dick pic get if a dick pic doesn't have dick? Alright, I'm done. My name's Jimmy. Thanks a lot, folks.
So even though I'm Latino, I wear condoms. My cousin's like, why do you wear condoms? But he has like 8 kids, right? He's got a 6-month-old and a 9-month-old. That's a math joke, all right. We'll slow down a little bit. That's cool. That's okay. So I had to explain to him, I said I wear condoms because it's better safe than Maury. Any fans of the Maury Show? All right, unemployed, make some noise. Good for them. Be proud. I love Maury, man. I want to be on the Maury Show for a paternity test. Not to lose, not to be the father, but to win, to not be the father. That seems like a great time. I've never done a backflip sober, but I feel like that's like winning the Super Bowl of unprotected sex. I'll be like, I'm going to Disney World by myself. So I'm half white, half Hispanic, so you can call me a honky, just don't pronounce the H. You can spell it with a J if you really want to, I guess, if you're determined. I speak Spanish, which means I'm like 3 bong hits away from understanding Portuguese. That's been tested and proven. That's how you learn Portuguese if you didn't know. Rosetta Stone? No, a Rosetta Stoned. It's cheaper. Anybody wake and bake today? Obviously. This is kind of just like if you don't know what waking and baking is, when you wake up real early in the morning and you decide, you know what? I'm gonna get fired today. Today is the day. It's right. It's where you wake up and you smoke weed. I mean, you guys aren't like 60 years old. I mean, some of you. I know at least one of you is 60 years old. But But it's when you wake up and you smoke weed in the morning, right? I think waking and baking would be a lot less acceptable if it didn't rhyme. Like it's so catchy, you know, your roommate's up 6 a.m. You're like, hey man, why are you up so early? Oh, I'm just waking and baking, baby. You know, I'm doing me. You're like, all right, I guess that seems like a fine thing to do. Rhymes, follow your dreams, man. Right? It's a lot different. Your roommate's up 6 a.m. You're like, hey man, why are you up so early? Oh, I'm gonna start my day off with drugs. Right? Be like, damn, don't you have a job or something? Man, you gotta be more responsible. Maybe you should just wake and bake. You ever think about that? Get your life together. So Congress has been debating whether or not we should drug test people on unemployment. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Right? Maybe that's why they're unemployed. Too much waking and baking. We don't know. What I don't think is fair is that we drug test people that have jobs. Right? Because if you're stoned out of your mind at work, you're doing a great job and nobody can tell, well, good for you. That's awesome. You're living the dream. Keep up the good work. I think if anything, we should drug test everyone at the workplace. Whoever's on the most drugs gets a promotion. Because think about it, that person is obviously not being challenged enough. Right? You'd be like, wait a sec, you're telling me that Tim's been bagging groceries this whole time? On PCP, that is amazing. He's the future of this company, get him in my office. Make sure he knows he's not in trouble, he might try to stab you in the face. But that's your boss now, get on his good side, right? You want him to like you, he's out of his mind. He's crazy. I went to school for liberal arts, also known as customer service. Anyone? Too real for some of us? It kind of hurts still. Yeah, I'm over it. It's okay. I studied politics, political science, kind of embarrassing. I still have no idea who Benghazi is. I don't know what is. It's been a long weekend, huh, guys? You know, a long weekend. Is all right. Oh, you wake and bake? Is that your excuse? All right. Oh, you got it? All right. She's bragging to her friends. One person got it, y'all. Talk to her after the show. All right. I knew this girl. She was a butterfinger. Like everything looked good, but her finger was missing. It's not a deal breaker, is it, guys? No, that's not a deal breaker. We can handle it. But she can't handle it? I knew this girl, she was gorgeous. Like, she was a 9-fingered girl. You know, it's the same girl. I can explain everything for you guys, you know. It's one at a time. We're gonna get a laugh. One person at a time. So I'm pretty broke myself. I'm so broke. I got an email recently from a credit card company letting me know I have been pre-denied. You guys get this one? I'm so broke, I was watching TV. This commercial promised to give me the credit score I deserve. Is that a threat? I don't want that one. How about the credit score I don't deserve? I could use that right now. That would help me out. I don't know a lot about credit scores, but I know you're not supposed to weigh more than your credit score, so I'm trying to work on that. Everyone's credit score too low to laugh at a credit score joke. That happens sometimes too. I feel your pain. It's hard for me to write these jokes too, so it's okay. I'm from Wisconsin, which means I drink before I do basically anything. Right? Like the only thing I do sober is drink. I've never done Alcoholics Anonymous. I have done Anonymous Alcoholics. It's not what you think, okay? It's where you get real drunk and you go out and you don't tell anyone your name. It's more of a 2-step plan. If you need a sponsor, we'll be doing shots, so. Speaking of drunks, I was in Rockford, Illinois. And Rockford voted Taco Bell best Mexican restaurant. How drunk do you have to be as a city to vote Taco Bell best Mexican restaurant? They put it on a billboard. They put the billboard downtown like they were proud of themselves. That is drunk. Kind of awesome at that point, right? Taco Bell's okay when you're done getting drunk and you're ready to get sick. It's not the best Mexican food though. The Taco Bell by my apartment, they remodeled it to make it look more authentic, like it's actually in Mexico. They just gave the security guard a machine gun. And now it's just like Mexico. It's a very dangerous Taco Bell, right? It's not worth it. Mexico's dangerous. They did The Real World in Mexico. You guys ever watch MTV, The Real World? They did it. You're speaking for everyone. No, move on. Oh, no, now she's smiling. She just wants some attention. That happens too. She's like, no. Oh, okay. At least she looked at me. They did The Real World in Mexico, but they didn't do it in real Mexico, right? They did it in Cancun. Like, imagine if they would have done it in, I don't know, Juarez. 7 strangers picked up and thrown into a van. Find out what happens with the kidnappers. Stop being polite and start getting real. It's The Real World, Juarez. Like 15 minutes long. That's a bad idea. Do not clap for kidnapping, you guys. That is not cool. The fucked up crowd tonight. Damn. Don't do that. Don't do that wordplay shit. Talk about kidnapping. That's the real humor. No, I stepped on my own leg. Okay, so comedy's pretty fun, but I really want to be a film director. By film, I mean porn. By director, I mean star. I'm not there yet, but I'd like to do that as a job. But what I don't quite understand is why they feel they have to pay the male porn stars. That seems like a sweet job already. You want to get paid to do that? Right? That is greedy, man. I would be a really cheap porn star. I'd be like a discount porn star. My porn name would be like TJ Maxx. Or Big Lots, maybe Big Lots. Dollar General. What do you think? Reporting for booty, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna go with TJ Maxx. You can add another X at the end, make it dirty, right? Whatever you want to do. What I'm trying to say is that my clothes are gonna be half off. I keep my shirt on like Winnie the Pooh. That visual is either weird or adorable depending on where you went with it, I understand, but also know that Winnie the Pooh is a terrible name for a porn star. We can all agree. If you think about it, don't think about it, but I got my first porno in the works, gonna be an all Asian feature. Where my Asians at? Make some noise. All right, no, they're probably in the back, just they're quiet with their shoes off. It's all good. They not even one Asian person here. I felt kind of. Now I'm gonna do my all Asian porn. I'm gonna call it Haikuch. And the first scene will have 5 girls. And the second scene will have 7 girls. And the third scene will have 5 girls. And I should have known better than to just assume this crowd would know what a haiku is, but hey. Who remembers 5th grade anyway, right? That was a long time ago, huh? I guess origami's out of the question then? Is that what